I was fiddling through there. I fell down on the other side of the rock, and as I fall down like this, my hand landed on the line on the other side of that big boulder. I was afraid of dying. That was the worst dive I did in my life.
Over the years, in deep underwater caves around the world, several divers, a mix of experts and beginners, set off to explore underwater caves. They were ready for an adventure, eager to find new places no one had seen before. These caves were tricky, and nobody really knew what was inside them. Tight spaces, pitch-black water, and risky paths made these dives a real challenge. These divers were stepping into a world where few had dared to go. They were looking for excitement. But things didn't go as planned. None of them made it out alive. This is the story of 5 catastrophic cave diving deaths. First, we have the Mount Gambier tragedy of 1973. In a small town in South Australia, near Mount Gambier, there's a place known as the Shaft, a deep, dark sinkhole hidden beneath the earth. On May 28, 1973, it became the site of a heartbreaking story. On that day, a group of 9 friends, all keen scuba divers, geared up for an adventure. They were excited, maybe a bit too confident, about diving into the mysterious depths of the Shaft. Among them were 2 siblings, Stephen and Christine M. Millott, along with their friends, Gordon G. Roberts and John H. Bockerman. They had dived before and thought they knew what to expect. The silent, eerie underwater realm took its place as they descended, fading away from the world above. They had a plan and a guideline to follow, a safety rope leading back to the surface. But as they reached 30 meters down, something went wrong. The 4 friends, driven by curiosity and the thrill of the unknown, decided to go further, leaving their safety line behind. That decision led them into a maze of underwater tunnels. Without their guideline, the murky water and confusing paths made it hard to tell which way was up. As they tried to find their way back, their air tanks slowly emptied. Panic set in. In the cold, dark water, far from the world above, they realized they were lost. Back on the surface, when the others noticed that the 4 hadn't returned, a frantic search began. But it was too late. The divers were found later lifeless, putting a tragic end to their underwater journey. The story of adventure and tragedy continues in the icy waters of Norway's Plura Cave. On February 6, 2014, a group of 5 Finnish divers, brimming with excitement and confidence, embarked on a journey that would leave an indelible mark on the world of cave diving. Patrick and Yadi led the group as they enthusiastically dove into the icy depths. They navigated the twisting tunnels of the cave, a world of eerie beauty and lurking danger. Their underwater scooters buzzed through the water, guiding them deeper into the cave's heart. But as they reached the deepest part of the cave, a twist of fate turned their adventure into a nightmare. Yadi H's scooter got tangled under a rock. Patrick tried desperately to help, but in the cold, unforgiving depths, every second mattered. Tragically, Yadi H couldn't be saved, and he perished in the depths, 364 feet below the surface. Meanwhile, the second group, unaware of the unfolding disaster, continued their dive. Kai, Vesa, and Yadi Yu faced their own challenges, struggling with equipment and the relentless pressure of the deep. The grim discovery of Yadi H's body by Vesa shook them to the core, but they had to press on. Patrick had to make a terrifying decision while still suffering from the loss of his friend. With the route blocked and resources dwindling, he chose to push forward towards Steinuga Flogget Cave. It was a perilous journey, one that tested the limits of human endurance. Kai, battling equipment failures and the heavy weight of grief, finally emerged after an exhausting 11.5 hours underwater. The survivors, reaching the surface one by one, were confronted with the stark reality of their loss. They had set out as a group of enthusiastic explorers, but the tragedy that occurred in the quiet depths of Plura Cave left them incomplete and forever changed. As the diving world reeled from the Plura Cave incident, another heartbreaking story unfolded in the serene waters of Manatee Springs Cave in Florida. It was here, in the labyrinth of underwater tunnels, that a father and son faced their final dive, a journey marked by confusion and tragedy. On the fateful day, two teams, each a father-son duo, entered the cave at 11:17 a.m. with hopes high and spirits buoyant. They swam along the guideline, navigating the cave's complexities with a mix of excitement and caution. But as they reached a dark area near Sioux Sink, confusion set in. One of the sons, Diver 1, felt something was off, scribbling manatee. On a wet note, he expressed his uncertainty about their location, recalling a previous incident at Manatee Headspring. The group decided to backtrack, assuming they had mistaken their exit. In the murky waters, they split into father-son pairs, but the calm surface of the spring belied the turmoil beneath. Diver 2, one of the fathers, struggled against the strong current, his air supply dwindling alarmingly. The sons managed to find their way out, but their fathers did not follow. Anxiety mounted on the surface, and a 911 call was made. Rescue teams rushed in, diving into the depths in search of the missing divers. Their search led them downstream to Freedman's Sink, where they found haunting signs of the divers. A camera, a light, but no sign of life. Diver 4, the father, was found lifeless, a victim of the unforgiving underwater world, his air tanks empty. The rescue team later discovered his son's body, marking a devastating end to their journey. In the wake of the Manatee Springs cave tragedy, another harrowing story unfolded, this time involving a legend in the cave diving world. Sheck Exley, an American diver known for pushing the boundaries of deep cave diving, met his fate in the daunting depths of Zacaton Sinkhole, Mexico in 1994. April 6, 1994, marked the day Sheck Exley and his dive partner, Jim Bowden, aimed to conquer the world's deepest sinkhole. Exley, a name synonymous with cave diving innovation, was on a mission to set a new depth record. He had meticulously planned this dive, equipped with a closed-circuit rebreather, a sophisticated system allowing for extended underwater exploration. As they descended into the abyss of Zacaton, following the lifeline Exley had previously laid, they ventured deeper than most had dared. At 900 feet, a depth where sunlight never reaches, they encountered the first sign of trouble. Exley's rebreather malfunctioned, forcing him to switch to a backup system. However, fate was not on his side, as this system too failed, leaving him with no choice but to switch to open-circuit scuba. Exley, a veteran of over 4,000 dives and a man who had never experienced decompression sickness, was determined to explore the unknown. His descent continued, but at around 800 feet, he began to experience the effects of high-pressure nervous syndrome. Despite the symptoms, Exley pressed on, descending to a staggering depth of 860 feet. Meanwhile, Bowden faced his own set of challenges, including a broken regulator. The anxiety of the ascent was palpable, but nothing prepared him for the discovery that awaited. Upon surfacing, it became painfully clear that Exley had not returned. A recovery effort was launched, and soon they discovered Exley's body, found at a depth of 904 feet. The equipment was still tied around him, a silent testament to the struggles he faced in his final moments. The cause of Exley's death remained shrouded in mystery, possibly linked to the immediate effects of decompression. Jim Bowden made history by breaking the 900-foot barrier, but this achievement was overshadowed by the loss of a pioneer. Exley's tragic end shocked the world and underscored the perilous nature of cave diving. His death raised critical questions about the safety of closed-circuit rebreathers and the limits of human endurance in extreme underwater environments. Finally, another catastrophic cave diving incident sent shockwaves throughout the world. Agnes Miloka, a fearless and celebrated Australian cave diver whose life was claimed by the very passion she pursued with such enthusiasm. Agnes, only 29, was more than just a diver. She was a force of nature in the diving community, known for her daring spirit and unwavering love for the underwater world.
Well, the good news is we're almost there. Had to dodge and weave all sorts of things in the river today.
Before her last dive, she spoke about diving with a mix of reverence and caution. She understood the risks, but believed in living each day to its fullest, diving not just as a sport, but as a way to embrace life's fleeting beauty. On February 25, 2011, Agnes embarked on what was to be her final journey into Tank Cave, a place she had explored many times before and considered the pinnacle of regional caves. But this expedition took a tragic turn. While navigating the cave's narrow passages, she became disoriented and stirred up silt from the cave walls and floor, reducing visibility to near zero. Agnes, separated from her diving partner, faced an increasingly dire situation. Running out of air and enveloped in darkness, she struggled to find a way out. Despite her calm demeanor and skill, the cave showed no mercy. She was found submerged, her final resting place 66 feet underwater and 1,800 feet from the cave's entrance. The recovery effort, led by her diving buddy, Dr. Harris, was painstaking and emotionally charged. Agnes's body was retrieved from deep within the cave, about 1,170 feet from the entrance. In these 5 chilling tales, we've journeyed through some of the most catastrophic cave diving deaths in history. From the dark depths of Australia's Mount Gambier and Tank Cave, to Norway's icy Plura Cave, the serene waters of Florida's Manatee Springs, and the mysterious Zacaton Sinkhole in Mexico. Each story is a solemn reminder of the risks and unpredictability of cave diving. These divers, experienced and passionate, faced unforeseen challenges and tragic ends in their quest to explore the unknown. Their stories underscore the importance of safety, preparation, and respect for the powerful forces of nature hidden beneath the surface.